Welcome to Almost Heaven, Always Us. I'm Corey.
I'm Kelsey.
And today we have a special guest, musician, singer, songwriter, Joe Kreitz. We got to go see Joe perform at the McCoy Grand Theater last weekend, and it was a wonderful show. We had a great time, and we wanted to sit down and talk with you a little bit about that show and just you in general and growing up in West Virginia and some of the West Virginia ties you have and that seep into your music.
Yeah.
So how was that show? Tell us about that show before we get started, since that one just happened.
The McCoy Theater Show?
Mm-hmm.
So, third year in a row that we played at McCoy's. And I love going there. I like how historic it is.
Yeah.
And usually we set up a few days before we play for that show.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like going in there, and it's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe there.
Yes,
Well,
that is really cool.
Yeah.
I think I saw it's almost 100 years old, isn't it?
It
that
is.
theater?
I think it was built in maybe 1927?
Yeah, I think that's what I
20s.
saw.
Yeah.
The roaring 20s.
Right?
Because Chloe had mentioned she was like, there's like a haunted little story behind it, and she was like, even when you go in there, it feels like it's a little, it has like a little creepy haunted vibe.
I've heard creepy stories from there of strange things happening.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
You never encountered any personally?
No, I haven't had any creepy. I've never had any creepy things happen to me in my life, like where I thought like ghosts were real or anything like that. But some people have.
Yeah.
But, I'm not tuned into the paranormal activities.
That's probably good for you.
I'm the same way. I don't get into that too much. So third year in a row, so is that going to be an annual reoccurrence?
Well, so far it is.
Yeah.
And I enjoy playing there, and I also like to play local shows. At least a few of them, at least like maybe 2 a year or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I like doing that and playing for the home crowd. So I like McCoy's, and I like Landis Arts Center here in Petersburg.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two theaters around here that I like playing at, and they're both very different. And I like them both for different reasons.
We heard that on a really good show Annie was put on recently.
Yes. West Virginia Theater East. Love them. They're awesome.
That's really cool.
Yes. Yes, it is. They do a really good job. The theater is just, I love everything that happens in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's where the crowd is. That's where the cool crowd is.
Yeah. I agree. I love it too.
Yeah, we're all from Petersburg, all three of us. So what was growing up in Petersburg like when you talk about that small town? We see the small town woven into the fabric of your songs and your style. So what was that like growing up in Petersburg?
Well, I moved to Petersburg when I was 16.
Okay.
So I was a little bit older. But I just grew up in Moorfield, so
Yeah.
it wasn't that. So I lived in Moorfield, and I was homeschooled. So I didn't know a lot of the school kids, but we went to church here in Petersburg. So all the kids I knew were in Petersburg, and people that I liked more were in Petersburg. So I was really glad to move to Petersburg.
Oh.
I felt like it was where I wanted to go for a long time before we actually moved here. So I really loved I loved coming to Petersburg. There was something cool about Petersburg.
Yeah, I agree.
Like they had a soccer team here. We didn't have that in Moorfield. There was just different things that I liked about Petersburg. So I had growing up in Petersburg was great for me.
Mm-hmm.
For you guys too?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It was great for me.
Yeah. I didn't realize you was from Moorfield, so that's kind of a homecoming show then for you there the other day.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Now I've been in Petersburg so long, it feels like home. But yeah. I grew up not very far from the theater, just maybe a mile or something.
Cool. So how did you first get into music?
Okay. Well, I grew up in a musical family, so I told you I was homeschooled.
Mm-hmm.
My mom played a lot of hymns. She was that kind of person.
Yeah.
Piano player, hymn singer type of person.
That's cool.
Sight reading,
Mm-hmm.
And so that, and my dad was like a bluegrass banjo player.
Oh, yeah.
So before I even, and I think just growing up around that, like music kind of was embedded in me before I even realized that, I really cared about it that much. And but growing up, hymns on the piano and bluegrass banjo, weren't very cool. So while I was learning music, or while I was getting music music was embedding itself, and I was learning things without even realizing it. I didn't really necessarily like it that much either. Our church went to King's Dominion and to King's Fest. Yeah, ever been part of that?
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is probably like the late 90s, I would say. And I saw some bands that really changed things. Like I was like, okay, music is very cool. Like Jars of Clay and Stephen Curtis Chapman, and then probably the biggest one was DC Talk.
Yeah.
and I didn't even know who these bands were, but I was just like, rock and roll. Because I wasn't allowed to listen to anything rocking at all. But, whenever I saw the stage and just how loud it was and just like the crowd, I was like, okay, let's go home and grab this guitar and learn how to do this.
Yeah. So would you say like those like late 90s, early 2000s like Christian bands were really influences for? Yeah.
Yes.
Who's some favorites?
DC Talk was probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
Stephen Curtis Chapman is still playing music. Stephen Curtis Chapman is great. I really like him a lot. I like how he's still a big influence to me to this day. And I don't play Christian music or anything, but it's just what I was listening to, so it's just what stuck with me, I guess. So
you have Jars of Clay vibes. See that?
I was big into Jars of Clay.
Yeah.
Went to their shows, bought their merch. I was big into I love them.
After you came back from that, you kind of had to switch a little bit in your mind.
Yeah, it was like, okay, this acoustic guitar that I thought was lame this whole time, sitting over here that played old man's music. Okay, now I can use that same instrument to play some really cool stuff. So after that, I quit playing sports, and I just didn't have any interest. I was all music after that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like
How'd
that.
your friends and family, whenever you kind of made that switch in musical style, what was the reaction? Were they very supportive of that? Or?
They were, yes. My dad especially. He helped me buy a guitar, my own guitar, and I think it was like a half and half thing. And so I worked and saved up a little, and he helped. He still helps me to this day, actually, to do stuff like that. But so I got my own guitar, and I started playing at a local place around here, just sitting in the back corner and playing along with everybody else, and trying to learn and listen to the music and listen to the chord changes. So that helped me a lot. And my mom is supportive too, but she's she's supportive. My kind of music is not, it's just not what she likes. But
was she at the show?
Yeah,
they were.
She was at that show. I didn't know one in a long time, but she actually came to that one. So.
Speaking of shows, so what was your first show
that I ever played? The first show that I feel like I ever played as a band was me and my brother and a friend of mine, Ben Fout. You know Ben?
Yeah.
Okay. I liked Ben a lot, and I got him into playing bass because we needed a bass player back in the day. So I'm still friends with Ben to this day. But my brother and me and Ben, we played in the high school gym for something, and I don't even know what it was, but it was something while we were still in school. It was for some conference or who knows what, art. Maybe it was an art thing or something. I don't know, but that was the first time that I actually got up and sang in front of people, an audience, and it went well.
Yeah. Were you nervous?
Nope.
Not nervous?
No, I'm hardly ever nervous when I play. The only time I get nerves is if I have to play by myself, completely alone. And even then I'm not always nervous, but if nerves creep in, it's always like that. But if I have somebody up there with me, it just feels like the most natural thing in the world. Because I'm not really that, if I mess up a little bit or something, I don't really care that much. So it's not weighing on my mind. Nothing is weighing on my mind. I'm just doing my thing.
Yeah. And everyone looked at the show that we went to last weekend. Everyone looked so comfortable. You, Colton. What was the drummer's name? I could not. Derek. Yeah.
Derek Shreve. He's a cool guy. You know him?
I don't know him.
He's from Romney.
But I can tell that he's a cool guy.
He's a great musician. Yeah, he's got his own band.
Oh.
He sings and plays guitar. He's really good.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, and your brother reunited with you. It's been a
Yes.
while, right?
Yeah, he's been going all over the place. He's lived in South Carolina and Texas and Maryland, I think. And he's moved all over the place, and he's been gone for a really long time. But just recently moved to Virginia, a couple hours away, so he was able to make that show. And we only practiced one time
That's
before
what Cassidy was telling us. Wow, and she also mentioned that There Was Jesus and how Colton had not heard that song, and he just kind of like almost just improvised it. I'm just like, you would never have known.
Yeah.
You all played so good
You guys
together.
act like you've been practicing.
You look like
for
you
weeks.
guys are just like you were a band, like just all the time, just a band. Just everything was so good.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah. I'm glad it turned out.
I'm sure it was very.
It doesn't always
hectic.
turn out that way. Sometimes, sometimes it can go haywire. But yeah, that was a good day.
Back in the gym, back in that first show. So is that when you kind of realized, you're like, I want to do this. I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I guess I kind of, I realized I could do it. I realized that was when I actually stepped up and actually realized I could do it. There were a couple people I looked up to that were local people, Kenny and Kurt Tompkins. You know them?
I'm not sure about that.
And they had their own band, and I just thought they were the best thing ever. They were called Luminous.
Oh, that's really cool.
And I just like they didn't even know who I was. Well, Kurt probably knows who I am, but I don't think Kenny ever did. But yeah, they were a little bit older than me, and I saw them do it, so it was like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. That was the first step to getting going and feeling like, okay, I can do this.
I mean, you do this professionally. This, from what I've heard, that this is your job, right? That you don't have a quote unquote day job.
I don't anymore. No. When my two little kids were born, life was getting way too overwhelming for all kinds of reasons. So I had to quit my job, and ever since then, I've just decided to make music like a full time. Yeah, it's kind of like a part-time income and full-time job.
Yeah. Well, that's what I find fascinating. So how does that go from, I have a passion for this, I like to do this in my free time as a hobby, to, okay, I'm going all in. This is what I do now.
Yeah, well, it's probably something similar to you with this podcast. Just like, we're all right, now we're doing this. We have no idea what we're doing. I don't know how to record music, or can't necessarily sing very well or anything, but don't really care. I'm going to do it anyway and learn as I go.
Yeah.
Were you nervous at all? Like, if I leave this job, I have some security?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although, I tell you what, back when I worked full time, I thought it was so scary to think of like losing your salary and like it's impossible. But after I did, it was almost like I don't even know where all that money was even going. Like I feel like it doesn't even feel that different. You just learn to live on less, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah. That's so nice you can be with your kids.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Like, you homeschooled them, don't you?
I do.
So you had
you stalking me or something?
I know some people that know you.
Yeah, we know some people who hang out with you a decent amount.
They seem to really like you.
I do homeschool
mention
them. Yeah, never intended to homeschool them, and it definitely was not my something I ever saw myself doing. But when they wanted to go, or when they should have started going to school, is when COVID hit, and everything was just chaos, and we just decided, hey, we'll just homeschool them for a year or two, and then it just never stopped.
Yeah. Oh,
Could,
my gosh. I am amazed by anybody who can homeschool their kids, because I just could never. We thought about it. I can't. Like I just can't do it. I don't have the patience. I need them away from me.
Yeah, I need them away from me too. Sometimes, something teeter-tottering on the edge of sanity sometimes. But.
Oh my gosh, yes, for sure.
Do you have any memorable performances or venues that stand out for you?
Most memorable one. That's a tough one. It's interesting. I guess. I mean, I've never really played like on the Grand Ole Opry or anything, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a really cool place that I've played. I mean, just the local. It was fun this year going to the showcase in Charleston.
Oh, what was that like?
So that was for the Fairs and Festival showcase, and that was definitely stepping out of our comfort zone because there's a big crowd down there. I don't know if you know anything about it,
It
but
sounds like a big deal.
yeah.
What was the venue?
At the Charleston, the big place down there.
Oh, like their big civic center?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, we were just there for Winter Jam. That's a big
Yeah.
space.
Well, yeah. No, I didn't play on that stage, probably, but it was the same building. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
But that was fun. Yeah, it was stepping out of our comfort zone and playing in front of people that we've never played before. We had all kinds of things go wrong. Colton's guitar wasn't working, but half the time, it was just like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. But it was still getting out of our comfort zone and playing something that I was a little nervous about that one. So maybe I lied to you. I had a lot of nerves leading up to it. So so that was a good one. Even though it didn't necessarily go as well as it could have, or as well as we wanted it to, but we still got out of our comfort zone and did something that we didn't know exactly how it was going to go. So that was the important part. Just keep pushing.
Oh yeah, that's pretty exciting. You gonna do more stuff like that in the future?
I'm definitely trying to push. I'm trying to push for some to get into some other venues that are like, I guess you could say, the next step up, or maybe not the next step up, but just slowly expanding your circle. So I'd really it's my I've been playing at the River House over in Caven Bridge. Really like that. Doing some open mics there, and now they hired us on to do a couple shows for them this summer.
You want to do the 4th of July this year?
I don't know. I haven't been asked yet, so I don't know.
We saw pieces of you last year.
Oh, did you? You were around?
We were around. We like coming in for 4th of July in Petersburg.
On that stage in the park?
In the park,
Is
yeah.
that what you mean? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah, I think 4th of July in Petersburg is special.
I do too. It's really great.
That's why I tell a lot of people it's got that small town 4th of July that, even being from Morgantown, we tried to do a couple of those on 4th of July stuff, and it's not the same. There's
Really?
something about being in a small town on 4th of July and having the parade.
That is my favorite part of Petersburg.
And having somebody, having some performers in the park.
Yes.
That's hard to beat.
So you go to the football field?
We did last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was Tyler, right? What's his name?
Micah Tyler.
Micah Tyler.
Okay, yeah. That would be a place that I'd love to play that show one year.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I'm not ready for it yet.
And we just actually saw him in Charleston he was at the Winter Jam. So,
Really?
So he must have really
I think
taken
he
off.
opened for the Winter Jam.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
But yeah, nothing like that really goes on in Morgantown for like such a big place that has a lot of opportunities to do cool things. They just really don't.
Really?
Well, I think there's some stuff. I just think that the people don't get into it as much as they do here.
Yeah, they don't.
These
It's
small
not
town
a big deal.
communities, they really come out for the stuff, the 4th of July stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just different. I don't know what it is. And I think it's a lot of small towns do it well from
Yeah.
what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was
The small town vibe is definitely, it has its pros.
Yeah. That's actually, that's my next question I was going to ask you. So you've got to do some of the bigger stuff now. You've been to Charleston, some of the bigger stuff. But that small town charm, there's something different about it, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And even like, I mean, I don't know if you consider Morgantown a small town or not, but last year I went to a lot of the shows down there on the river, the free shows.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love those.
Oh, yeah, we've done some of those too. They're fun, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
they're great. So did you see any last year?
Sarah Evans.
Yeah, Sarah Evans was there.
Was that last year?
It might
Okay.
have been the year before. I don't know.
Okay.
Smash Mouth might have been the year, but
Oh,
I'm getting
okay,
some
okay.
stuff. Years
Those are
later.
small
Years
ones.
run into
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah. At this age, I don't even
Kids
know.
will do that to you.
Yes, but they're really fun. They're so cool. I like
Yeah,
that
Sarah Evans,
atmosphere.
that was awesome.
I saw Diamond Rio there.
Oh, I went to that one too.
Did you?
Yeah,
This-
I love that one.
That's a
I
good
did.
show.
That was a good show. They got a ton of hits.
Yeah.
That was a great one. Yeah, I went with the kids.
Yeah, I don't even know what you guys were doing. You were out
I
doing
was doing
something
something
without
else,
me.
and I heard about it. And I was like, we're gonna swing over and do that.
I cannot believe you took all the kids.
But no, you're right about that though. That does bring people out. That's always packed, and the people do come out. So obviously people do want to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
In the day that the Plain White Tees played there, I don't know if you remember that, but Grace Campbell opened up for them, and that was the first time I saw her live. And I actually saw her. I don't know if you know Grace, but she's from the Morgantown area, and I saw her play at like a songwriters thing there in Morgantown, and I just really liked her voice and the songs that she wrote. And so we were speaking about stepping out of your comfort zone. So this year, I asked her if she would sing on one of my songs that I wrote for me. And she got to play there at that amphitheater, and I saw her play there, and her band was just so freaking good.
Oh.
And some locals around there. And so I messaged her and asked her if she would sing on a song of mine, and she ended up doing it. So I went over to Morgantown, and that town you mentioned, what was it called?
Westover.
Westover. There's a recording studio there, and she recorded. She sang on one of my songs called "Rolling Hills." And that will be the next song that I come out with, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, we were listening to your Spotify all the way here.
Were you?
Yes.
Good job.
Trying to figure out which song we like the
And
best.
I thought that on the Rolling Hills, I was like, I think that's the song, but I think the one on Spotify doesn't have her yet, right?
No, that was just like an acoustic version.
Okay.
That I wasn't necessarily, after I recorded that, I thought, man, this would sound really good as like a full band thing. So I'm doing like the next version of it, a full band. The students over there at WVU recorded that song for me.
Oh my gosh.
They invited me to. This is another thing that came from Ruby Amphitheater. So when I went over there to Ruby, I was like, okay, I'm going over here. I'm meeting some people. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. So I just walked up to the person, the MC guy, Vince, I think is his name, and Vincent is his name. And he looked like he was in charge, or he knew what was going on. So I just said, "Hey, what would it take for me to like play here at this place, like or open up for one of these bands?" And he took my name and took my card, and then he passed my information on to a guy named Joshua Swigger. And Josh is he's a professor at WVU and teaches music, something to do in the music industry. And he said, "Hey, are you interested in recording a song with the students?" And the students will like actually record. It's like a recording studio experience, and it helps the students learn how to do the recording session thing. Yeah. So several months ago, we recorded the song together, and it sounds really good. All the musicians were really good. So, and then a little bit later, Grace Campbell came in and put her part on it. And now it's just in the editing stages. And then whenever I get it right, get it produced, then it'll be released. So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. We'll have to be looking for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you talked about you talked to the promoter there. So when are we going to see you there in Morgantown?
I don't know.
I'm still waiting.
But yeah, I don't know when I'll play there, but I'll just I'll keep at it until I get there.
There you go.
Absolutely. Don't have a timeline yet, but
yeah. So one of your hits, Almost Summertime, has a really cool music video as well. That is a really cool music video, yeah.
That's Hunter Sights. He does all my music videos for me, and he's good.
It is a really good one.
Yeah.
You were showcasing some of that West Virginia Beauty video as
Do
well.
you recognize what it was?
Where?
Was it Always On?
No, it's not.
It's Green Gap.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we found out later we were probably trespassing when we filmed that. But
That's all right.
so far, haven't had any lawsuits come up or anything.
No signs, at least not in the video.
I know, yeah. You can be like that, and that is definitely not Greenland Gap. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, speaking of West Virginia and its natural beauty, so a lot of your songs we're listening to today on Spotify are clearly West Virginia is your muse.
Well, okay, so when I first came to the point where it was like, okay, life's going by fast. I need to be recording music and doing more. Like I've always known in the back of my head, I should be doing this, but it's real easy to get distracted sometimes for years just doing something that you don't really care about that much, right? Mm-hmm. So I finally got to this point where I was like, all right, getting old. I'm going to be in the nursing home soon. I'm going to spend the rest of my time. Like, I don't care what happens, but I'm doing it. Like, and I'm not looking back. So, probably similar to, it sounds like you guys started this podcast. Like, you just have to decide to do it and go for it. So, where was I going with that?
You're tying in the West Virginia.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so it was really hard to get started, and I just needed to give myself some goal or mission or whatever. It just had to make sense somehow, instead of just randomly just starting to record music. So it's like, okay, I'm going to write a whole album, and it's going to be all about West Virginia. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even sure why I did that. It was just an idea I had. I think I was starting to see maybe some things online about West Virginia, and that was kind of around the COVID time. And actually, COVID brought a lot of people to West Virginia, and now you can barely find a parking place up at Dolly Sods anymore because everyone from Virginia flooded over here and now it's just famous. But maybe I was seeing, because of Facebook and social media, maybe I was just starting to get the West Virginia vibe. But it's just, I don't know what it was, but it's just like, I want to do a record, and I want to, and it's going to be a bunch of songs all about West Virginia. So I never looked back, and it's actually taken me longer than what I thought it would. I thought by now I would have the whole record written and done with, but there's been a lot of learning, and things have taken longer than what I thought it would. And sometimes you just get distracted, and you feel like there's. Do you know Stephen Pressfield, the author?
No.
Okay, he wrote this book called The War of Art, and it's a great book. You should read it. And it's great. It's a small book. It's short, but like it's a great one just to pick up and read like one page, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready to go again. Mm-hmm. But it's The War of Art. It's like this idea that if you have something like your calling, whatever you're meant to do, like there's this whole force that works against you and like wants to distract you and like into doing, because it's kind of hard. Like for instance, like if I'll go into a music studio and I'll need to sing my part. Okay, that's something that's difficult, and it's not exactly fun necessarily. Like it's just like, okay, I record my voice, doesn't sound too amazing. I'm gonna have to do it again. Keep honing it, and it's a lot of work. And so your mind will trick you into doing anything at all except for going down there and putting your headphones on and turning the microphone on and recording. Like, I need to go do something at the store, or I'll go mow the grass or whatever, and it's just so hard just start doing that work. Just do it and show up every day and do it, no matter if you like it or not. So eventually, I kind of forget where I was going with that.
I don't know, but I like it.
I like what's happening.
I'm bad for that. That's another reason why I'm going to end up in the nursing home too long, because my mind, I can never remember what I'm talking about.
Same. That's why we have this, because we wouldn't.
But that's what got me into the whole West Virginia theme, and I think it's a great theme. But that's what it was. It just gave me a mission to. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm showing up to work every day. It gave me something to just limit what I was doing, because when there's too many possibilities, you don't even know what you're going to do. But it's just too many choices. But when it's like, okay, West Virginia songs, and then you start narrowing stuff down and just getting to work and getting it done. So The War of Art, Stephen Pressfield. You need to get a hold of that.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, that sounds really inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not musically talented at all, but I would think it's one thing to learn somebody's song, to play it, to sing it, and then I would think it's something else completely different to be a songwriter. So you've touched on this a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's completely different. Yeah.
So obviously you have your own originals that you write.
Yeah.
That I think are really well done.
Thanks.
So where do you? How does that process look for you?
Well, it's just like what I just said. A lot of times things will strike you when you're least expecting it, Like you'll be inspired with, almost summertime, that little, in my opinion, catchy little mandolin thing that just came to me one time. I don't even know why. I don't even remember. I don't think I was even playing mandolin, or I was just probably just saying the little melody into my phone just to remember it. And things like that happen. Inspirations happen, but it's the work that gets it done, and that's the hard part. So I mean, honestly, it's tough to get to write those songs, because you write it and you realize it sucks, and then you have to rewrite it and you still realize it sucks, and you have to rewrite, and you just have to keep on until it's right. And recording can be that way too. It's just work. There's nothing glamorous about it. The work is work, but if it's what you're supposed to be doing, then it's fulfilling, but it's still hard to sit down and do it a lot of times. So with writing songs, almost summertime, I knew I wanted a summer song, and I knew I wanted it to be like, I don't know if this is a very good example, but I knew I wanted it to feel kind of islandy, like Jimmy Buffett style, or I wanted it, be like almost like a beachy sounding song, but somehow make it West Virginia like. And so that's what I was going for. And it's kind of a mysterious process how it actually gets done. But once you start working on it, ideas do come to you eventually. Yeah. But sometimes it can be a slow process, but it's work. I like to look at, I read Will Smith's book, his autobiography. I think it's called Will. And he just says, like, his father taught him, every day you just lay one brick. That's all you got to do is lay one brick. But you lay that brick as perfectly as you possibly can. And every day it adds up until you got something. So, like, the work in music isn't ever like an aha moment where all of a sudden you have a song there. It's just days and days and days and days and days of work that adds up, and all of a sudden, sooner or later, you'll reach the end of the road for one song and it will be done. Yeah. And then you might feel good for 5 minutes, and then you'll start all over again, writing some more stuff that you hate, and you keep working on it, working to it until you like it,
That's good stuff. That's what I've been telling her, actually. That's been our motto every week when we do these. I said, brick by brick is what I
Oh, really? Awesome.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I had a big grin when you said that.
I know. I was like, that's really good advice.
Yeah, I love talking to people that are doers, because it's so easy, I think, and we can all be guilty of it. It's easy to dream if you're at your day job, or you're driving your car and think, it'd be cool if I did this, or one day I could do this, and then years pass and it never happens. And so I always find it fascinating. I always want to talk to the people that are doers, just to figure out, okay, what's different? Like, what made you actually go out and do it? So that's what you already talked about earlier. You had the day job, and there's a risk there, but you took that risk and you go full into the music. And even then, it's not all glamour. It's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of stuff that's getting deleted. Right? You're scratching that out and saying, I don't like that. But you stick with it. It's the consistency. So what do you think? Where's all that drive come from? Is it the passion? Is it just because you just love music? What's behind it?
Where's the drive come from? I think for me, it comes from doing the opposite for a large part of my life, like running from it. That now it's just like, I'm just doing it, and I don't really care. Like for instance, like you think of someone who's writing music, and we think of music like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. We think of like fame and fortune. That's not really what it's about at all. It's just like, it's something that you have to do. Like I realized when I was halfway through my 30s, like, okay, I'm going to be doing this my whole life. I'm going to be wanting to do music. And then I'm going to be thinking, oh, I can't do that right now. I got little kids, or I got a career and I got to worry about that. I'll get a good retirement at this job. This is the stable life. This is what I should be doing. This is the sensible thing. And then I think your mind will just eat you alive for so long until it's just like, I have to do that. Like, I'm going to play music. Like, you can't help but to, for me, I can't help but to play music. It's just who I am. Yeah. So you just get to the point where you just realize, I decided I'm not, I'm just not going to mess around with this anymore because I'm tired of being mediocre. You know, knowing you could do better, but never actually putting in the effort to get there. That's like a good way to torture yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I just got to the point where I just decided I was doing the work, and I'm not really too worried about getting famous. Or I do want to be successful in that I want to. So there are successful people in music that are, and what I call successful for me would be like making a full-time living, you know, a full-time living on it, just like somebody who's a school teacher or something like that. That's what I would eventually like to get to that point.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about to me, just finding a way to do it. There's people that are doing it, and I'm a person too. I can make it happen.
Yeah.
Just gotta keep pushing till I get there.
Yeah. And earlier you mentioned people that you looked up to who were playing, like when you were younger.
Yeah.
And now you are doing the same thing. You are influencing younger generations, such as our niece, and giving her a platform, like at the show, which is really amazing, very generous, and very kind.
Actually, that's something I noticed about you too. I think anybody that tries to find success in their own life, there's always that risk that you just focus inward and look at that own success and that own improvement. But then there's a special breed of people, I like to call them, that elevate those around them.
Yeah.
And that's obviously you as well. You're elevating everyone you work with. You're bringing everybody on board, bringing everybody up.
Well, thank you. It's fun that way, I think. Because like, you know, you noticed when you came to the show, there was, well, it was just Chloe that time, wasn't it? It was Chloe then us. Sometimes it can be more, it can be like 3 different acts or 2, and it's way more fun that way than just being the only one up there.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's just fun. Like, you know, back in high school, all the band geeks are the cool people, right? Like all the people in the theater and the people, that's all fun. Like, so you want to be around those people. So I like inviting a bunch of people to play along too. And, you know, I have lights and sound systems and stuff like that. And if you don't have that stuff, then it's really hard to perform. So, you know, I do like sharing that. Yeah. So I guess I do help them out. But like Chloe, you know, I like working with her because she actually puts in the work. You know, she writes her own songs. And is always getting better. And if she didn't do that, then I wouldn't be very inspired to work with her. So, you know, she's doing as much as I am, honestly, in my opinion. It's just I'm at a different stage, and I can help her out in a way, and she can help me out in a way. So it's a working relationship. She's a cool person. Yeah, it's fun doing things together.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and it's more than just giving a platform. I know that there's a lot of teaching behind the scenes. There's encouragement. I've heard from spying on you, stalking you, that you're really a chill guy too. You don't get like worked up or excited. You have a calm presence. You're just there to
I'm glad you think that.
That's what's been presented to the public.
Yeah, I definitely can. I can struggle sometimes with things as well, but you know, that's how it all is for everyone. But.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So you're doing this thing, this journey, this musician journey. But do you think you take yourself? You don't take yourself too serious, right? You have fun with it.
Yeah.
You were just saying, and you never get. It's never to the point where you're like over stressing yourself out over this stuff.
Well, if you zoom out on life, like. For thousands of years, people are coming and going, and kingdoms are rising and falling, and it doesn't even matter. Like we don't even know who people were that are just like us, like just 1,000 years ago. So we come, we live real quickly, and then we die, and then no one even remembers who we are anymore. So what's the point in getting too worked up over it? Worked up about it. Now I say that as a complete hypocrite because I get worked up over all kinds of things, but I like to think of it like that.
Oh, yeah. Don't we all?
Yeah.
we all can get worked up for sure.
Just enjoy life because you know we got the chance to live life, and for whatever reason, you know, we got the chance to come down here and to be on this earth, which is, I don't know how to explain this, but we kind of won the lottery already of just getting to breathe and see and everything. So it doesn't really matter too much what happens down here or how successful you are. Just it's really just doing the things that you're called to do and enjoying it while you can.
I think a few more things on community. Just wondering, we were talking about elevating each other earlier, and so obviously we're trying to elevate the state of West Virginia. We try to showcase different tourisms and businesses and people. I guess just how can we get support into the local music scene?
How can we get support?
Yeah, like what can we do as regular people or as businesses and venues to support?
To support the local music scene. Encourage people who are, musicians and artists in general. You may think they're cool and confident, but they never are. They always think they suck. So you can encourage them.
Yeah.
That's one good thing. Come to their shows and if you enjoy music, something like going and supporting a local musician is something that's just the same as going and seeing a local play. You may it may not seem like something that you always want to do, but it's really, if you just go do it, it's really a great thing to support local people. Like, you have just as much fun going to see Annie as if you would go to the theater and go see, the latest Brad Pitt movie or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And plus you get to see people. It's just it helps you as much as it helps them. Really.
There's something different about that too, in there, like going to see the local show versus going to a movie theater and watching a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just a sense of community.
Yeah.
That I really enjoy. I think that's a wonderful thing. All right, I think we're about ready for the speed round. I think we've kept you about long enough, so we'll get to the speed round.
All right.
And we'll try to go through them. Like dream venue.
Dream venue. Local or just like dream venue? Okay.
Oh yeah, go big.
Yeah.
Okay. Big. I don't have a dream venue, but I would like to. I would like to play a stadium at least once. Yeah. Just the idea of being, there's people everywhere and lights everywhere. I love that. So I'd like to do that one day.
Yes.
But although that is a dream venue, I like playing the local shows just as much. But yeah, that would be cool one day.
So, best season in West Virginia?
Best season?
Is it almost summertime or is it something else?
It's got to be almost summertime, right?
That might have been a little bit of a leading question.
My least favorite is like summer.
You like when it's almost summer?
Almost summer's the best, and after summer is so fall and spring are my favorite probably. Yeah, when it gets super hot, I'm not a super hot person.
I'm not either.
I can handle winter better than the worst parts of winter. I can handle better than the worst parts of summer. So
yeah, I think I agree on that one.
Would I say fall? Probably fall. I don't know. I like one of my hobbies is like gardening, and not like vegetable gardening, but like growing trees and stuff like that. So I really like when everything starts blooming. So I'll say spring, almost
spring. There you go. That's perfect.
That was genius. Thank you for that.
All right, I think this one's probably gonna be tough. Your favorite song to perform?
My favorite song? People like hearing Take Me Home, Country Roads, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
There's some songs when you're playing, like everyone likes your songs, and then there's certain songs people just come alive on, and that's one of them. Wagon Wheel tends to be another one.
Oh, yeah.
So I like that. So maybe those. I like older songs that have stood the test of time, like I Saw the Light by Hank Williams, or I'll Fly Away, or Will the Circle Be Unbroken, which arguably, or I don't know if it's arguably, but maybe was the very first country song ever recorded was Will the Circle Be Unbroken. So stuff like that, if we're still singing it 100 years later, there must be something there.
Oh yeah.
So stuff like that.
Yeah, I went down to the Country Music Museum in Bristol, and they played that song over the speaker pretty
Yeah.
much all over the museum. The circle being broken.
Yeah, that's where it all started, was Bristol.
Yeah, that was pretty. Have you been to
I've never been there,
I'd like
and
to
I've
check
always
it out.
wanted to go.
Yeah, definitely.
It'd be a good thing to do this summer.
Yeah, it would. All right, here, this one might be a little difficult. Best food in Petersburg.
That's a really tough one because I never go out to eat, ever. The only time I do is if I get sushi, and you can't get that in Petersburg.
Yeah.
You want local food, right?
If you have.
I'd say that my favorite local joint is the Grove.
I know, shout out to the
okay,
Grove,
yeah.
for real. This is really good.
And like what they do to that whole property and what she does there is like freaking. I mean, it's like the whole building is just, and the grounds are just like a work of art. It's amazing. So I love going in there anytime I can, and I like getting coffee there. But I never go out to eat, so I can't say I have a favorite restaurant because I don't. It's just not something I do.
That's good. It's saving money, and it's probably better for you to
My
do.
wife has celiac disease.
Oh, so it's hard.
She can't eat gluten.
Yeah.
So you can order things in restaurants that don't have gluten in them, but there could always be cross-contamination, and if there is, she's like, deals with it for months later.
Oh,
So-
that's terrible. It's just better not to even risk it.
We just don't even,
Yeah.
we don't even think about it. So we
Wow.
don't even think about going out to eat. So, yeah. But I go to the Grove a good bit.
There you go. If you could collaborate with any West Virginia musician, past or present, who would you pick?
Brad Paisley.
There you go.
We weren't even thinking. We were like, he sounds like Brad Paisley.
Yeah.
Like when we were listening, we were like, we can hear Brad Paisley.
He was a big influence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really was.
here's what I said, and I mean this is a comment. I said Brad Paisley and Tom Petty.
Oh yeah.
That's what
That's
I
a great comp that way.
Yeah.
And by the way, I loved your cover of "I Need to Know."
Yours is
Yeah.
better.
Thank you.
I want that, like a studio recording of that one. Is there
Yeah.
somewhere I can find it? It's not on Spotify.
Oh,
And I-
me playing
Oh,
that?
Yeah, I want to hear that one. I want
I
people
need
to
to
play
know.
that one in my car.
Your version is better.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I should record that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I do have to say though, I'm not going to take complete credit for that because that version I kind of copied from. It is a country version of that song done by Marty Stewart. There's an album. It's called Petty Country, maybe, I don't know. It's a whole album of like top artists recording petty songs, and that is one of the ones on there. And there's a bunch of other ones on there, and it's a great record. So you should listen to that on the way back home.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Petty
absolutely.
Country.
Petty Country.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the first song on there, but yeah, there's some really good ones.
Okay.
Wildflowers is on there.
Oh, yeah. I love Tom
There's some
Petty.
good stuff.
Yeah.
And then but when I heard that one by Marty Stewart, it really stood out to me for whatever reason, and I just knew I wanted to play it just in certain minutes.
Yeah, that was really good. It was one of my favorite songs of the night, for sure.
Really?
Of the
I am
performance.
so glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because I almost cut that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Because I was really nervous about that song because we weren't exactly killing it on that song for a good while, and I thought, man, I was terrible at singing it and everything. I really struggled with it, but I do think we pulled it off in the end.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
But
for sure.
leading up to that was a lot of struggle.
Yeah. Yes, it definitely paid off.
Oh yeah, worth it.
Okay, so
You
this
got
one
one
could
more,
be
don't
funny.
you?
Okay. Most West Virginia thing you've ever done?
Oh gosh, most West Virginia thing. I've taken a sip out of some moonshine jars that get passed around at gigs.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Now
pretty West
that
Virginia.
is
That's
very
pretty
West
West
Virginia.
Virginia.
That's a good one. That's a good thing.
I don't know why that's the first thing that popped in my head, but
That's a good one.
sometimes when you play music, people are just dying for you to try their moonshine that they made.
Yeah.
That's probably a big honor for him.
Yeah, that was. I'd say that's it.
There you go.
It's the first thing that came to my head, so there you go.
I think we're gonna be closing out, letting you go here soon. Just a few more things. Do you have anything coming up? Any upcoming performances or projects you want to share?
The next I have lots of things going on, but the next full band thing that will be like a bigger production type thing will be actually here.
Oh.
I think for Kelson Thorne's Folk Around Festival, June the 7th, if I'm not mistaken. I think June 7th is a Saturday.
Oh,
And because they're building a stage out here. I don't know if you know that.
oh,
An outdoor, they're like
a permanent outdoor area?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
That's a big deal.
yeah, it's gonna be really cool. And I don't think it's gonna be built this year, but we're still playing here this year somehow. And this will be the third year that I've played for that festival too.
Wow.
But I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be outdoors, and there'll be lots of art there that Kelson does, and all his friends, and
Wow.
yeah.
I don't know if we said where here is, but we are in the Southside Depot.
Yes.
I think we did say that.
Southside
I don't
Depot,
remember.
Petersburg, West Virginia.
Yeah.
This is actually called up here Southside Studios.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
different.
There's a
They just started, like the local artists just started this place and have done all this, and it's amazing. Like even when I came up here today, it's nice, nicer than what I even remember it being. But this is like through here there are different artists, like their studios where they make stuff, and we can't get in there, but they do a lot of cool stuff in here. So, and one more thing, I've got a local show for Atlantis Art Center, a Christmas show this year. I think it's December the 7th. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I've never done a Christmas show. Chloe will probably be at that one. I don't know if I've asked her yet, but if I haven't. Chloe, I'm going to ask you. Hope you're available that day.
Are you going to be covering some Mariah Carey?
No.
No All Over Christmas?
No, I think we all hear that song enough. And I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm not a hater for that song, but we hear it enough.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm all about the song the Christmas song that this past year I really started liking a lot was Holiday Road.
Oh yeah.
Holiday Road.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song.
That was a good
And I wasn't even that familiar with it, and I just heard it on the radio and it kept standing out to me how cool that song was. So we're definitely going to be covering that one, I'd say.
Oh, that's exciting.
All right, so how can we keep up and follow you?
You can follow me on. I'm mainly on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, I guess. I'm trying to do TikTok as an old person.
We haven't even done TikTok ourselves.
TikTok is fun though.
It looks fun.
The last time I posted a video on TikTok, like there was all kinds of West Virginia people popping up saying, "Hey, you're from West Virginia. I'm going to support you." It's cool.
That is cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's stuff that I haven't got on any other platform, so I wouldn't necessarily. It's a good one to be on.
Okay.
I've had some fun on TikTok. But
People can find your songs on Spotify. I know.
oh yeah,
We're gonna link that in the video.
Spotify, anywhere you stream music.
And then YouTube has the music videos, right?
YouTube, YouTube has some lyric videos and official music videos, and so YouTube, Spotify, anywhere. It should be everywhere. I don't even know all the places that people listen to music these days, but it's supposed to be everywhere.
Yeah.
I think we've covered this pretty much, but I think this is the last question.
Okay.
We're going to try to summarize everything we talked about, really. But if you could leave our listeners with one piece of advice about following your passion, what would it be?
Just do it. Do it today, not tomorrow. So do, and it doesn't, you got kids and you got to take care of them and keep them alive. But today you could do something. You could start anything. So it's so easy to put off just doing the work because the work is not always fun. So you just got to do the work. That's what I would say.
Love it.
And that's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Joe, we sure appreciate you coming and sitting with us nobodies that are trying to do something here, and we appreciate you coming on with us. And if you guys don't already follow Joe on all the social medias and the Spotify and the YouTube and all that, you need to jump on it. Come out and support a local show. Support your local artist wherever you're at. Maybe you're somewhere else in West Virginia and you have some local artists that you can support there, but you should do that. And if you like this video, and if you like West Virginia, if you love West Virginia as much as us three, then go ahead and like and follow and share with your friends as well. And I think that's it till next time, all right?
Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. See you
Bye.
guys.
Lots of fun.